See how this works. Awesome. I'm learning.
Do you?
I'm learning. Look at that. I'm learning. Learning how
Are we
everything works.
live?
We're live. We are live to the entire universe. Congratulations, everybody. We've made it yet
Yeah, I just
again.
got a notification. We are live.
We are live. We are live. Who wants to play Joy to the Worlds and War Games Remaster? What a thrilling title. What an
Well
engaging,
done.
thrilling, awesome title. But yeah, we're
Oh,
live.
another
It's
month
the end.
with hardly any news.
Yep, that's been the all year. All year that has been
Yep.
what it's been like. It has been dire and miserable, but it is the end of the month, and that means it's time for news. It's news time, everybody. Welcome to Time for News. And this probably won't be a very long episode, which I'm honestly okay with, because I'm very, very tired. But who doesn't like to sit and chat about what's going to inevitably be extremely disappointing Doctor Who? In just a few weeks, we're just a few weeks away
Oh,
from
yes.
new
It's a
Doctor
few
Who.
weeks.
Yeah.
I'm Scott, by the way.
Yes. Hello, I am Matthew. This is Who Watches Who, a Doctor Who podcast. And it's the end of the month, so we're covering our news. And our first news story is in regards to Joy to the Worlds, which got a brand new clip
Yep.
released for it as, I guess, like a way of promoting it. I don't know. It kind of put me off wanting to watch it.
Really?
It put me off
Yeah.
watching it. It kind of had the opposite problem, you know.
Yeah, this is, of course, the second clip we have. The first clip was of the first 4 minutes, I want to say, of the episode. That was revealed during Comic Con, which was a much better fucking clip than this one.
Yeah.
This clip is an exposition scene for some reason. So if you have zero clue on what
Yeah.
the episode is about, you're
Well, you learn.
absolutely
You learn.
confused.
You learn a lot because it gives you all the exposition you need. You know.
It gives you answers to questions most viewers don't even fucking have yet. So I'm not sure what the point is.
Maybe the rest of the episode is just so jam packed full of awesomeness that they couldn't risk spoiling it. They had to keep it. This is the only scene they could give away. You know.
Because of course this was revealed during Children in Need, and Children in Need used to be a big thing, and now it's not a big thing. Like it ends at 10 p.m. I think now, or even earlier. Nobody gives a shit about Children in Need now, which
I
is
assume they
sad.
still make their golds or whatever,
I would hope
funding
so. What did
wise.
they make this year? I'll look that
I
up.
literally don't know. I didn't watch it this year. I don't watch it most years. I watch the bad sketches that come from it. If it's Doctor Who
When was the
related.
last bad sketch you saw? Like,
Yeah,
it's
I
been a
wonder.
while since there was a big one, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, 39.2 million.
That's
It's
a
the
lot of
most for
money.
Freena. It's the most they've earned in 3 years, apparently. 16% more
Well,
than
there you
last
go.
year. So that's
It's on the up and up. It's more popular than it's ever been in the past 3 years. You know,
yeah, I guess. But it used to be a big
rising.
thing. I remember when I was a kid and they used to have like, oh, Balamori are performing, you know? It used to be like big
Yeah.
names. Mr. Bean would occasionally do a few sketches. It's not the same anymore.
Yeah, but the world's not the same anymore. I don't know if it's still a big thing in schools or whatnot because I remember being like they used to promote children in need everywhere. It was
Yeah.
inescapable, um, and just the way that kids consume media now. Maybe the people they have on children in need are the people the kids want to see. I don't know. I don't want to see them. I don't want to watch children in need. Um,
But of course, the clip. What does the clip reveal, Matthew? The clip
Nothing.
reveals that Villain Guard is the main villain of the episode,
I
and
can't believe the place
there's.
called Villain Guards the villain.
I mean, there's stuff about star bites, star particles, or something. I don't know. I don't give a shit. I usually tune out during exposition scenes. Never mind exposition scenes I barely have the context to. You
Yeah,
know?
I was more distracted in this clip we got by how horrible it was lit and how cheap and
Yeah,
nasty and terrible it looked.
The color grading is completely off. It's like the complete opposite to what happened to the season one trailer when it was released by Disney. Remember they accidentally
Yes. Yeah.
I think they compressed the HDR of it all, and it was all flat colors. This is too much colors. This is too warm. This is too plasticky.
Mm.
It's very strange.
Yeah, it does feel plasticky. It feel like Shuti Gatwa as well. He feels like he's wearing so much makeup. Like you can't make out his features of his face. He looks like a Ken doll, which I know he was, but he wasn't in Doctor Who. He looks very very
But
weird.
yeah, they're on like a treehouse thing, like in Tarzan, I guess, or fucking Star Wars and Endor,
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of, or on Chewbacca's planet, which is all like tree
Kashyyyk.
houses, you know?
Chewbacca's planet's
Yeah,
called
like
Kashyyyk. How many
okay,
Ys? How
Chewbacca's.
many Ys are in Kashyyyk?
I don't know.
Three. There's three
Chewbacca's
Ys.
cousin is currently watching VR porn in the next room, just
Yeah.
behind them.
I have that on DVD.
Good.
Spectacular movie.
I've only seen bits and bobs from it. I don't want to watch the
It
whole thing,
it
but I've seen
it's
enough of
it's
it to get a
it's worth
context.
watching. It's worth watching. It is abysmal. It's genuinely like a fever trip, but it's pretty
It does
excellent.
have a few good parts. If the B. Arthur scene is brilliant. B. Arthur owns a pub and she does a song and dance. That's
Yeah.
amazing. I love B. Arthur.
There's a lot of weird
The
bits in it.
Boba Fett cartoon.
Yeah, sure. There's a whole bit where one of the characters just watches like a gymnastics routine for like suddenly
Yeah.
they just stop and
Yes.
just like pull out a gymnastics routine. It's a very interesting Christmas Star Wars.
It was the style at the time. Those weird variety shows. Just what the fuck is going on? Like,
Yeah.
Princess Leia is on drugs the entire time. She looks high off of her face. Mark Hamill just got out of a serious car accident.
You can tell. He
Classic.
looks rough. Yeah. Yeah.
But
It's
yeah, Doctor Who clip. It's okay. I just don't have any emotional involvement in what's going on because it's just so out of context. It's like a worst clip they could have chosen from the episode. Really bizarre.
it is extremely extremely bizarre, but you also have written down here a little synopsis. I assume this is for Joy to the
Hmm.
Worlds, which I'll just read all of it right now. Let's go. Ham and cheese toasty and a pumpkin latte. The Doctor, played by Shuti Gatwa, returns this Christmas for a time-hopping trip through the history of Earth. The episode introduces Joy, starring Nicola Cole. I don't want to say Colin. Cowlin? Coughlin? Nicola something.
I
I don't
don't
know.
know.
Yeah. From Bridgerton and Dairy Girls. I've never seen her in anything before. I've not seen either of those shows. Who checks into a London hotel in 2024 only to discover that her quiet stay is anything but ordinary. When Joy opens the secret doorway to the Time Hotel, she discovers danger, dinosaurs, and the Doctor. But a deadly plan is unfolding across the Earth just in time for Christmas. Where has the Doctor been? What is going on in Joy's hotel room? An old enemy of the Doctor's is lurking in the wings, and all of human history hangs in the balance. Can the Doctor save Christmas everywhere, all at once? Wow, okay, it's dipping into
Yes.
something different there at the end. I wonder if Moffat was inspired by Everything Everywhere All at Once. Going
Maybe.
into
Who
this,
knows?
maybe. Um,
But yeah, the point is he's trying to save Christmas across like multiple time periods because Villengard is using star power. I don't know.
sure,
The rumor is that it's the Star of Bethlehem. That's the main plot of
that
the
sounds
episode
bad.
because Stephen Moffat spoke years and years ago about how the Star of Bethlehem would be a good idea for a Doctor Who Christmas special. And a lot of people are pointing out, hey, this episode is about stars. There's a connection. Maybe it's the
Maybe,
Star of Bethlehem they're trying to figure out,
maybe.
but I hope not.
I hope not as well. I don't know how that gets done well. That sounds kind of bad. To be fair, this episode sounds interesting. I'm still on board with the
Yeah.
concept. The clip put me off a little bit, But it's Stephen Moffat. His first episode back was a banger. I'm sure his second one will be fun. The Christmas specials, you can give a little bit of leeway for they can be a bit shit.
Yeah.
Them being a bit shit is kind of part of the charm for the Christmas special. I'm curious as to who the old enemy is going to be lurking in the wings.
Is it still?
Master
Is it
Spec-
going to be Villengard? Is Villengard the old enemy? Because in the clip, the Doctor refers to
Maybe.
them as one of his oldest enemies, which
Hmm.
it's a bit of a disappointment if we already know the answer to the question: who is the old enemy? Oh, it's revealed in the clip. Okay.
Yeah, it's the villain guard, which I also hope that it's like there's somebody in disguise or something, and it's not another case of like, oh, you were a villain from my past that I've never mentioned before, because that would
A
be
lot of people are also thinking it could be the Daleks, which I don't see how they would fit. The
Christmas
whole idea of a
Dalek.
time hotel is really a complex plan for the Daleks. They prefer to just be like
They
their
did the
plans are
whole,
usually pretty simple. We
I
want
don't
to
know,
drill to the center of the earth.
they did the whole time loop thing at New Year, you know.
Was that part? I don't think that was the effect of what the Daleks were doing, was it?
Why was it
The time
happening?
loop thing was just. I don't remember. It's been a long time since
Been
I've
a
seen that
while.
episode.
I remember the love interest character in that episode being a complete freak, like a real creep. And
Oh
we're
yeah,
somehow
the male
supposed
one.
to,
Yeah.
yeah, we're somehow supposed to like and root for him, but it's like, but he's so unlikable and weird.
As for Nicola Coghlan, I presume that's how you pronounce her name, Coghlan. That
Coghlan,
sounds
yeah, it's
correct.
better than Colin.
Um, I've only seen her in episode 1 of Derry Girls. She's very funny, and I've seen her in that one clip in Bridgerton. And if you know anything about the latest season of Bridgerton,
I don't.
it's there was a lot of press about her being nude in this one clip, and I've watched
Okay.
that clip.
All right. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
But yeah, she's a very good actress from the very limited stuff I've seen her in, and also Bridgerton. We just had a Bridgerton episode.
We
It
did.
feels like we're all in on Bridgerton this season.
Yeah, I've never seen an episode of it. I don't really feel like I'm the target audience for Bridgerton. It doesn't seem like it's
No,
marketed to
same.
me. My
Apart
mum
from that
watches
one
it,
scene,
you know.
that one scene feels like it was marketed towards me.
Okay.
But we also have a Disney Plus poster which
We
reveals
do.
the title could potentially be called "Joy to the Worlds" instead of just "World" singular, which
Yeah.
is interesting.
It makes sense if they're traveling
Yeah,
through to different worlds in the hotel and different pieces like period time
yeah.
periods and things like that. It's kind of it's a fun little
But
play
I,
on
j-
words. Joy to
I
the
do
worlds.
wonder why the official title wasn't revealed by the BBC. What does it mean? I guess it just means we go to
Miscommunication.
different worlds. Miscommunication,
Miscommunication. That's
maybe.
my bet. My bet is somebody at Disney didn't talk to somebody at BBC
Yeah.
and they didn't line up when they were doing these reveals together. You know.
The poster is all right, though. It's the
Yeah.
Doctor and Joy in a hotel lobby, I think, and there's different time
I
portals behind
really
them with
Yeah, I really
different
like
stuff.
the look of the hotel doors just because they've got these big circular arches around them. It
Mhm.
looks very nice and neat. Um, it makes me feel like it's gonna be a very like cylindrical building that they're in.
Yeah.
I
Also,
think.
the idea of a time hotel is fun. You know, the idea of how do they make sure they don't waste rooms when they don't sell for the night? Oh, time travel. That's a fun idea, you know. So the hotel is always fully booked. That's
Yeah,
a decent idea, but beyond that, I'm not sure if it's going to be an interesting episode. We need a bit. We need a bit more, and I'm not giving that more at the moment.
it's
Because
early
I
still.
don't
We
know.
got like what
Yeah, we'll
4 weeks
see.
still till Christmas, just less than 4 weeks. So it's
I like the fact that we don't know enough of the plot. We know the basics. We don't know the full story, which is
hmm
nice because a lot of fucking trailers just reveal too much nowadays. Like every movie ever, there's just too much being revealed.
I
Here,
often stop
it's
watching
simple.
trailers, but like halfway through, if even that. The second I'm watching a trailer, I go, okay, I want to watch this film. I turn off the trailer.
Yeah,
Because I know
that's
like
fair.
it's just gonna continue to give me stuff I don't want to see. As soon as you've sold me, I'm done. I don't need to see anymore. I'll see the film.
Oh, my favorite trailers are always Sony's trailers, especially for Spider-Man movies, which always fucking reveal the final shot of the movie.
Yeah.
Like Amazing Spider-Man 2
Yeah.
heavily marketed the fact that the Rhino was going to show up and Spider-Man was going to hit Rhino on the head with a sewage drain cover.
Yeah.
That was the final shot of the fucking movie.
Yeah. I remember.
Same
I
with
remember it well.
fucking Madam Web. A lot of the marketing was about the three girls becoming Spider-Woman, which don't happen till the very end, where it's like a dream sequence or a future vision. It's like,
Oh wow.
why? What the fuck is... Madam Web is an insane movie. You should watch it. It's
I
great.
don't really want to. I don't really want to. And I got other things to watch. I got actual movies to enjoy
No,
and
you don't.
consume. Yeah, you're right. And our next story we have got is a recolorization slash remaster, I guess, of War Games. This is just from the BBC. So, classic Doctor Who story, The War Games, to be brought to life in stunning new colorization to air on BBC Four and iPlayer on the 23rd of December. It is time to step into the excitement of the War Games once again, as one of Doctor Who's classic tales is to receive a spectacular new colorization. And I'm not going to read this whole article because it's a shit ton of words, but we covered War Games very recently. It feels like
Yes.
on the podcast. I bet it was like 20 years ago or something.
It was in
Um,
April and May, I think, or
My
March
God.
and April, something like that. The
Yeah.
very start of the year, anyway.
Yeah, a very long time ago at this point. And it's very cool that it's getting a colorization. They have like various photos on this article of some of the frames that they've colorized, and sweet Christ, it looks amazing. It looks
Yeah,
real
I
good.
I fucking love the look of the Warlord with his
I was about to say, yeah, his
all
glasses are so
all
fucking cool.
black, but his
Yeah.
glasses are just rose tinted. Fucking
Yeah.
iconic look.
Yeah, no, it looks fucking fantastic. Everything looks really good. The purple under the Time Lord, or like above the Time Lords, like they look cool as fuck.
Yeah.
It all looks really, really good, and I'm really excited to kind of like it, but there to be weird editing because this is a cut down on the story as well, isn't it?
Yes, the runtime is 90 minutes, which means it's the equivalent of like 4 episodes instead of the 10 episodes. So that's 6 episodes, but that's essentially cut down here,
That's
which
a
is a lot. It's a lot, but
That is
also
a
at the same time, there's like 4 or 5 episodes that are just going back and forth.
Mhm.
Oh, and now I'm trapped. I'm gonna escape. And then at the end of the episode, they get trapped again. Like, it's the same
Yeah.
thing over and over again. We noticed when we were covering the episode.
Do you think they'll like just cut it out entirely, or they'll do like a weird montage like they did in
I hope
the
not.
Daleks, where it suddenly
Oh.
speeds up 10 times fast and is like, and it's like totally so weird. But I kinda like I
Yeah,
kinda dig the
you
Daleks.
you and I enjoyed the Dalek colorization to
It
an
was the
extent.
best
I
thing
don't.
to
I,
come out in that period.
I think the only things we don't like about the episode, I should say, is the constant music every single
Yeah.
second throughout the fucking thing. No silence throughout the entire episode. And also
no
just
silence.
some weird janky editing now and again. Most of it was fine, but occasionally you do get that kind of Ocean's 8 montage where they're trying to come up with a plan to escape. And it just
Yeah.
cuts around like fucking crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't seen it since it came out, but I remember being like, that was
Yeah.
fun. That was entertaining. Yeah, they cut around, they cut basically everything I would have thought would needed cut to make those episodes work. I'm really curious about War Games because that's a lot to cut. Like, even if it is back
Yeah.
and forth and stuff, like, that's like a lot of dialogue, a lot of scenes, a lot of things to leave on the cutting room floor. But it looks fucking fantastic, so I'm all on board.
Yeah.
All on board.
To jump into the article just a little bit, for the first time, these original episodes have been meticulously coloured and enhanced with updated visual effects, edited in a new 90-minute feature-length experience to appeal to today's modern audiences. With updated sound and a new score, this newly updated version of the War Games offer both fans and newcomers even more ways to watch this much-loved classic story. In addition, the episode will also feature the Second Doctor's never-before-seen regeneration into the Third Doctor, played by Jon Pertwee, alongside recovered footage not seen since the original broadcast. So, we're getting a new regeneration scene. How do you feel about this?
Yeah, the new regeneration scene. I'm curious to see what it's gonna be like. I want to see how they manage to make that work, for the way that the Doctor is. I kind of like the ambiguity that the
Yeah.
regeneration happens with Patrick Troughton when we see it, because I kind of like how weird and trippy it is. And also, obviously, the main point of this is was it season 6B or whatever, wherever
Yep.
it is, the version of the secret doctors that are between the Second Doctor and the Third Doctor are now just straight up not canon. Before they were vaguely
Yeah.
kind of canon.
To quickly explain what season 6B is, there's a fan theory that came out of just it's because comic books at the time kept on continuing the adventures of the Second Doctor until the Third Doctor officially appeared on screen. So you have a 6 months worth of comic books that just feature the Second Doctor on his own. And that created a fan theory that maybe the Time Lords didn't immediately send the Second Doctor to exile. Maybe they forced the Second Doctor to go on some missions for them. And the Two Doctors, which aired in 1984, 5, I want to say, 1985. That episode has the Doctor working, presumably working for the Time Lords. And, that episode also has Jamie having full knowledge of who the Time Lords are. We've covered the Two Doctors.
Yeah.
And, of course, in the original run, Jamie doesn't know who the Time Lords are until the War Games, the very end of the War Games. So, Season 6B is kind of canon, but this
Yeah.
is making it not canon, which is interesting.
The
We'll see
Doctor
how
Who's
it
canon
works.
Continuously. Somehow every year they find a way of making the canon more convoluted than it was before. It's remarkable. So when you think it can't get more complicated, they're like, aha, but what if we change this thing again? You're like, what that just why? Why would you do that? We'd only just started to make sense of the thing you changed.
And speaking of the Daleks in color, you can no longer watch that on BBC iPlayer because they lost the license to it. Obviously, they only have stuff up on BBC iPlayer for a year, and then they have to renew the license to get it back up again after that year's up. I presume it'll be back up at the end of the year. I'm not sure, but for now, you can only buy it on Blu-ray or digital. So if you ever want to watch it again, you might have to do that.
Wow, that kind of sucks. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Now I'm sad. You've ruined my Christmas.
Good.
Let's head into our next news story that you've got lined up here, titled Doctor Who's Doing Well. This is from the Radio Times. Doctor Who is named one of the top British exports as the UK show sales hit record US high. A report has found that sales of British shows that hit the US hit a record high, with Doctor Who flagged as the series that did particularly well. It was up in 13% to £593 million during 2023, topping the £574 million generated during 2020. Amongst the series were noted as performing well. The reports were Doctor Who in the first year of BBC's deal with Disney Plus to produce and distribute the show, as well as the likes of Boat Story, Planet Earth 3, and the Got Talent franchise. The Disney Plus Doctor Who deal is set to continue in 2025, with the second season of the show having already been shot. Meanwhile, the spin off series, The War Between the Land and the Seas, has also been produced. Beyond that, however, less is clear. The show has yet to be officially renewed for a third season, although Russell T Davies has assured fans that there is nothing to worry about. He previously told SFX magazine, "It's an industry decision. It's like any business. These things take time. I think the decision will come after the transmission of season 2. That's what we're expecting. That's what we've been heading towards." Which is interesting. It's very cool that Doctor Who's popular in the US, or more popular than it was in the US, and obviously the Disney Plus deal is a big thing to do with that. If I was watching, I don't know, see, I'd really need to find an American's perspective on it, because I don't know how season 1 works in Doctor Who as season 1, you know, but
Yeah.
like if you're an American who's never watched Doctor Who before, how well does this work
Yeah.
as a way of getting you into Doctor Who, and does it make you want to watch more? I don't really know, because we had a lot of problems with it, but we've been watching Doctor Who like our whole lives, so we're jaded, and you know, they don't try to make it for us anymore because they know we're gonna watch it anyway. So
Yeah,
know,
but that's the kind of perspective I would love to know myself. Who jumped on board with Ncuti Gatwa's first
yeah,
season and stuck it out? Because there's a lot of stuff there that's kind of alienating towards
yeah, it
new
feels
audiences. Like the constant references to stuff that's happened before, like in the 60th anniversary. We went over this. There's constant references to the 60th anniversary, which
yeah.
suggests that's the ideal jumping on point. But
The
in order
60th
to get the
is
full context of
yeah,
the 60th, you have to go back to series 4. It's a
yeah,
mess.
yeah.
It's such a mess.
It's so weird. It's so weird. But also, like, if you're American, just get a VPN. Surely everybody has a
Yeah.
VPN by this point, and just be like, "Oh, cool! I can watch all of Doctor Who anyway." Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
But
it's cool
yeah,
that's doing well. I
I,
like that.
I do see Disney Plus renewing it, or at least contributing to the next 2 seasons of the show. I really do see this happening. I think it's a great fit for Disney Plus, and Disney Plus have expressed nothing but happiness at having the show. So
Yeah,
I don't see them dropping it. I presume at the moment it's really just down to their overall budget next year. That's a lot of consideration, because I think Disney have had a pretty good year with stuff like Moana 2, which is like one of the highest grossing animated movies in
is it
opening
really?
weekends. Like
Didn't? Oh
apparently
wow,
this
wow.
this weekend this
I didn't.
weekend is going to make 350 globally.
That's crazy. I hadn't even seen a trailer for this. Like, Moana
Yeah,
2 has just totally slipped me by. I didn't see a single piece of marketing or trailer, and then it's like, oh, it's out. It's like, what the fuck? I knew it
and
was getting made.
yeah, of course, Moana 2 was originally going to be a TV series at Disney Plus, and we're like, this would do much better on the big screen. So they cut down like 8 episodes into a 90-minute movie, which
Hmm.
apparently didn't go well because the
Yeah.
editing is kind of sloppy and the animation is TV budget, but
Oh,
it's
wow.
it's doing,
Interesting.
it,
That's
it
like,
was made for like 150 million and it's going to open
yeah.
350 million opening weekend globally. That's
The Rock
impressive.
needed a
Also, you have
hit.
like you also have like Inside Out 2, Deadpool and
Yeah.
Wolverine. Big money
Big
makers for
movies. Yeah.
Disney this year. So I feel
Yeah.
like they're a bit more I feel like they would have enough money to be like, yeah, we can afford more Doctor Who. It's doing well enough, and we're happy to have it on. We don't have to budget crunch too hard next year. I can see, and also, we were kind of concerned because the idea is maybe they won't be able to start filming until like next summer, which would
Hmm.
mean perhaps series or season 3 would come out late 2026 instead of like spring like we're used to at the moment. So I'm very curious on how how we're going to be able to do it.
Yeah, I'm. We'll see. We'll see. You know, I expect there to be a gap between
Yeah.
Series 2 and Series 3. I believe Russell T Davis lied to us. or at least was overly optimistic, overly ambitious
Mm,
when he promised us not a single year will go by without
yeah.
any Doctor
We'll
Who
see.
content ever again. But yeah, we will see. We still have the War Between the Land and the Sea to look forward to
Hmm.
at some point. Have we got a release date for that yet? I don't think so.
No,
Just
we
rumors
don't.
and
There's
hearsay.
no anticipated release date at
Yeah.
all. People are presuming it might come out next autumn, but if it has a year gap, if Doctor Who has a year gap, maybe we're saving it for the spring of
2026.
2026.
Yeah.
So there's still Doctor
That would
Who
make
every
sense,
single
and
year.
that gives them times to negotiate Series 3 and
Yeah.
shoot Series 3 in 2026 for it to come out in 27, and that way there's technically not that year's gap, because they just backlogged it. Kind of like what we do with
Yeah.
the podcast. Um,
Yeah, but we'll see. Either way, I don't see the show going anywhere. Even if Disney drop out last minute, the BBC are still gonna fucking continue it. It's their number
yeah,
one drama hit. It's a
it's
worldwide
legacy. It's got
hit.
legacy to it as
Yeah,
well. It's been on the air for 60 years now. Why stop? Just keep going. Fuck it. Get to the 100
yeah.
years.
Go on until
100
ever.
years,
Just
Doctor Who, baby. Will be what, 69? I'll be 69.
nice,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. So that's pretty cool. So Doctor Who removes two classic Tom Baker stories from. No, I'll be 63. It's 1963. Doctor Who started.
Oh, come
I'll be
on, 60
64.
nice. It's
Yeah,
nice. Oh.
yeah. You'll be close to 69. But I will
Hell
be
yeah.
far away from
Fingers crossed I
it.
survive that long. Funny number.
Doctor Who removes two classic Tom Baker stories from BBC iPlayer. This is again from the Radio Times, and it's got a really dramatic heading. The BBC has issued a statement. Two classic. Oh my god. Hang on. Okay. Whew, I thought this was locked away behind a paywall, but it wasn't. It was just like, hey, you could sign up for an account. I don't want to sign up for an account. Two classic Doctor Who serials have been removed from BBC iPlayer. Season 13 stories Terror of the Zygons and The Seeds of Doom are now both absent from the iPlayer, after fans noticed an expiration date of Friday the 1st of November on both serials. The BBC told the Radio Times, the Whoniverse contains over 800 hours of Doctor Who content, so shut up about it. Making the biggest collection of Doctor Who programming in one place, which includes all the episodes that we have the rights to. The stories were released in 1975 and 1976, respectively, starring Tom Baker as the Fourth Doctor alongside Elizabeth Sladen as companion Sarah Jane Smith. Both of them were written by Robert Banks Stewart and directed by Douglas Camfield. This is just a bit of stuff we don't need. There are a few notable absences, most prominently the first ever serial, An Unearthly Child, which obviously we know the story behind that one. It's some really cool relative holds the rights and is super cool and chill about it. More recently, the modern episode Fear Her, which featured a brief cameo from Hugh Edwards, was removed. However, Radio Times understands this episode will be redubbed and reinstated on BBC iPlayer. That's been taking a while.
It's taken a long time. This is stuff we covered in like July, August, something like that. That's
yeah,
a
that's
long
crazy.
time.
Honestly, so long ago that I forgot it even happened.
But yeah, of course, this is going back to our thing we were talking about with the Daleks in color. They only have the license for a year, and then they have to keep on renewing it every single year, which sounds like a fucking pain in the ass for all the shows they currently have.
It really does. It really, really does. But
just missing 3 stories out of like 170 odd.
It's not good enough.
Not bad.
It's not good enough. Not good enough.
Considering these, you can buy the DVDs for like £6 each, but it's only £18 if you still want to jump on and just watch all of Classic Who in order. You only have to really spend £18 plus the TV license, which is going up by £5 next year, which isn't a lot. That's fine by me.
Yeah,
honestly,
it's fine by me as well. People make a big hoo-ha about the TV license, but I don't really understand why. Just do a year payment. Like, sure, like there's different economic problems for everybody. Mm-hmm. I get that fully, but if you're able to spend £100, just boop, done. Never think about it for a year.
Yeah,
it's out the way. But and I like supporting the BBC. I think it's a worthwhile
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
service.
'cause,
The amount of programming that they make, because it's also TV, radio, uh, interwebs, everything. It's an
yeah.
important part of British culture.
Yeah, it'd be
Um,
a shame to see the BBC go because I fucking grew up on the BBC. Like,
yeah.
I only had 4 channels for like the first 9 years of my life. I didn't even
Mm,
have Channel 5 because Channel 5 was impossible to get. So, 50% of the channels I had was BBC, and
mm,
most of it, my entertainment came from the BBC. CBeebies, CBBC, all their cartoons, great times.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully these episodes come back. But at the end of the day. DVDs just £6 each. It's fine. No worries.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. And there's always other certain websites where I'm sure you'll be able to find it. You just a quick
Yeah,
bit of
maybe you could
googling.
watch this episode. Maybe you could watch stuff from this website daily, and the videos will have motion to them. You know.
Yeah. 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 In our next news story, Stephen Moffat responds to some upset fans. This is from Digital Spy. So very recently, Stephen Moffat did a watch along of Boom, which
Yes,
was
just
an
6 days
episode.
ago for Doctor Who
Yes,
Day.
an episode I thoroughly enjoyed. I thought it was the best episode of series 1. I thought it was one of the best episodes of Doctor Who I've seen in a very, very long time. And absolutely I loved it. You're now sitting in the dark.
There
There
we
you
go.
go. And you know, I think it was fucking like a phenomenal episode of Doctor Who. We talked about it a bunch in the episode when we reviewed the episode when it came out. So go back and listen to that if you like. And he's talking about something that I honestly didn't see anywhere. I didn't hear anywhere. I didn't hear anybody complain about it. But of course, some people would complain about it because some people have slightly different opinions about faith and
Yeah.
religion than I have, and those people apparently were a bit upset.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm not surprised, though.
yeah,
I'm
but
not surprised.
those snowflakes. So Stephen Moffat wrote, the faith issue. I know some people of faith were upset, but keep in mind, the Doctor is scared and heartbroken and so angry. This isn't all he thinks on the subject, it's just what's spilling out of his mouth as he rages. That's why I included the later line about needing faith. The Doctor has faith that the universe makes sense and that kindness can work, but there's no objective proof of that. How different is that from believing in a god? Which I think is a massive cop out from Stephen Moffat for just trying to not upset everybody, because I truly believe the things that Ncuti Gatwa says in Rage are just what Moffat thinks about faith.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you can feel the writer's hand quite often in
yeah.
Moffat episodes, in terms of religion, especially, and in terms of like his horniness, also
Yes.
especially.
And that episode had both of it. It had the Doctor holding a
Yeah.
flashlight saying he hates God. So that.
So yeah, but this isn't even the first time the idea of faith being used in a Doctor Who episode. We covered the Curse of Fenric a couple of years ago, where the
Mm,
entire point is these monsters. I think it's been a while, but they feed on faith essentially, or do they feed on faith? Yeah, they do feed
God, I
feed
don't
on faith.
remember.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Because they go after the religious guy in the church, the religious vicar, and in the episode, this vicar is starting to lose faith in his religion, and the Doctor fights off against these villains by having faith in his companions. It's a really good episode. We covered it like 2 years ago. It's been a while. I can't remember the full story, but
Mm,
it's not the first time Doctor Who has dealt with
yeah.
faith
I also
in its entirety.
not to get too polarizing, but surely if you were a person of faith watching an episode of Doctor Who wouldn't be like, oh my
Yeah.
god, my belief and my entire belief system of the universe has been shaken to its core. Like, surely, like, you should be able to appreciate criticisms,
Yeah.
and praise from both sides of the art. Like the same way it's like, I can appreciate an argument like why someone might be religious or whatever, even if I'm particularly extremely not religious.
Yeah, I'm
It's
fine with religion as long as you're not one of those religious people who fucking despise
I
minorities or queer
yeah.
people. You know.
Yeah, I was having this discussion with a friend recently where like I used to have a lot of major problems with religious people and religion in
Hmm.
general. Nowadays, I have less problems with the individual and more problems with the system at whole and the institutions, which I think are the bigger
Yeah.
problems. And also, which is kind of what he was talking about in Boom, is like, is these giant institutions perpetuating a war that doesn't need to happen. It's a very clever episode, and I don't know. I think people need to just fucking step outside themselves for a fucking minute.
I'm going to presume the people who were angry about messages of faith in this episode also have the English flag on their usernames on Twitter. I'm going to presume because
Yeah,
those kinds of people, Jesus Christ, those kinds of people.
yeah, literally.
All of their tweets. If you ever click on one of those profiles, it's just the most horrendous shit you could ever see on Twitter. Great website for Nazis. Fucking fantastic place.
I got rid of that website, and I'm a happier man. I saw an article recently. I don't remember who published it, so take it with a grain of salt. Reddit is now the #1 social media app in the UK, taking over Twitter, and I made that migration. I went from Twitter onto Reddit, and I'm
Yeah.
using Reddit a lot more again. And it is significantly better, a much
Yeah.
better website. Um,
Depends on the group, but yeah.
Sure, yeah, you could make it horrendous, so you just join like all the gore
Yeah.
and death subreddits, you know.
But but Reddit doesn't have an egotistical billionaire who's
Yeah,
constantly pushing these far right conspiracy theories onto your timeline. Like
you're
every
right.
time I
So
log on to Twitter, it's just the most insane shit.
I reinstalled Twitter after the Trump election because I was like, this will be funny. There'll be some funny memes on here, and there were some hilarious posts. It was like, God damn, this was such a funny website. The people on this website are so funny. And I was on Twitter for maybe like a week. I don't even know if I
Yep.
lasted a week. And then I opened Twitter and got Russian propaganda just like all over my feed, and I went, awesome, uninstall, done with this. Don't need this shit in my face. I am
No.
over this app now. It is abysmal, and I don't understand
Yeah.
why anybody would stay on it. You know.
I'm gonna make
Uh,
the migration over to Blue Sky soon because that's
wow.
where most people are going now.
Yeah.
So I might as well just follow them,
Yeah.
because
Well, we'll
yeah,
see.
Twitter
Like,
is
Blue Sky feels like it's maybe getting popular now, finally, but there's
yeah.
been so many
Oh
attempted
God.
migrations, that I'm just.
Yeah. Remember the first weekend of Threads where it got like a
Oh, it was
hundred
popping
million
off.
users or
So
something,
good.
and
Yeah.
then everybody just suddenly forgot about Threads like after 2 days.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah. But hey, that's what happens. That's what happens. Next in our agenda, we have got Doctor Who announces its biggest props and costumes auction ever with over 150 lots. The online prop store auction will be launched to support children in need. Ready to own? Has this already happened? No, no, it hasn't. Okay. Ready to own a piece of Doctor Who TV history for yourself? Well, it could be your very chance to take home a major memento from the long-running sci-fi series, as it has been announced today, when this article came out on the 23rd of November, that a major online auction will be launching in February 2025. Set to be the biggest in the show's history, it will include around 150 Doctor Who lots to raise money for charity in need. They will be partnering with film memorabilia specialist and auction company Prop Store on the project, with bids starting from £100 on many of the
Yeah.
lots.
I'm sure we're all going to stay roughly around the hundred
Mm,
pound range. We're not going to go into
yeah,
the thousands, I'm
no
sure.
way. Yeah. And while it may be the stuff of nightmares, a Weeping Angel statue is going up for sale. So yeah, I am curious about this. I might check it out and put a bid on some stuff just to say that I bid on it, you know? Just for
Yeah.
the thrill of participation. I could bid some money on it, but I might. I don't really. I'm not really wanting to buy anything. If I ended up winning something, I'd be like, oh shit, I didn't want this, but it's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
If you wind up winning one of the bids, it's gonna be like at least over 10,000 grand. Probably over like
10,000 grand.
50,000 grand. Sorry, 50 grand.
10,000 thousands.
But yeah, I saw a lot of people complaining about this. It's for fucking charity. Like, what the fuck are you complaining about? If you don't want to participate, don't participate. I'm sure a lot of people, a lot of fucking wealthy people would be very happy to get some of these props. Like,
Yeah.
it's cool. And a lot of people were like, why don't you just use these props in, a Doctor Who experience again? Doctor Who experience didn't make any fucking money, you know? And then those same people are like, but you
But
could have people come in and have the money go directly to charity. But again, Doctor Who experience didn't make any fucking money. You have to pay for all these staff members. You have to pay for you have to pay expenses like electricity. You have to pay for the place itself. Like you have to pay for a venue. It's a lot of fucking money to go into this. Like
yeah.
here, I would imagine there's gonna be like, I'm gonna guess like £4 million would get given to charity with this auction. Over 4 million, I'd
A
imagine.
lot.
I
That'd
feel
be a
like
lot of money.
it's
Yeah.
gonna be a lot of money. Whereas if it's just a Doctor Who experience, not gonna make a profit. So this is making a lot of money for children. So why complain?
Yeah.
It's not like we're gonna use these props again anyway. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, no, if anything, I'd be curious to see who won it. And, maybe if you wanted to open up your own Doctor Who experience, you could buy every prop and then open up your own little museum place,
Yeah.
you know? I think that would be worthwhile.
You should
and
do it. You should do it, Matthew.
Oh, if you finance it, sure. So, our next story is even more compelling than the last one.
Yeah, scraping the bottom of the barrel here.
Doctor Who and Casio have teamed up for a limited edition gift package that includes a gold watch, a gold Casio watch. Now, I don't know about you. I don't wear a watch in my day-to-day life. But whenever I have worn a watch, it has almost always been a Casio. I love a Casio watch. I think they produce an excellent vibe. I think they look nice. They're durable. They're cool. I don't see how this watch is at all related to Doctor Who in any single semblance way. It's just a gold Casio watch. There's no like Gallifreyan engravings on it. There's no like Doctor Who. Like,
there's no
insignias.
blue.
Yeah,
it's not even blue. It's just gold.
gold. Yeah, it doesn't like what makes this Doctor Who in any way. I don't understand.
The Doctor Who connection comes with a package. The limited edition package comes with bespoke Doctor Who Christmas themed box sleeve. So you get a box sleeve,
so you get a Doctor
a
Who
free
box.
TARDIS pin badge, and the promotional contents linked to this year's Doctor Who Christmas special. So I guess this is just product placement. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it going to be? Is there a Casio in this Christmas special we're going to see?
I hope so. That'd make me want the watch. I'd want the watch then. It's only £60 for this TARDIS box with the watch inside of it. So if you have £60 you want to spend on a gold Casio, to be fair, this is the only piece of Doctor Who merchandise you can wear without being beat up because nobody will know.
True.
Nobody will know.
I haven't worn a watch in like 20 years, so the last watch I wore was probably like Bob Builder or something. One of those cheap plastic ones.
Yeah.
So it's been a while since I've worn a watch.
Yeah, I wore a watch I think maybe last year or something, and I ended up getting a rash on my wrist from where the battery was.
Nice.
So I went, awesome, I'm just not going to wear a watch again. I always contemplate with the idea of getting a smartwatch, because those seem interesting.
Yeah.
But I like like just as a way of getting like disconnecting from my phone a bit. But
Yeah.
like I don't want to have to wear something on my wrist. What a nightmare. Just let me carry around a giant brick instead. Um, Speaking of useless crap that I don't want to buy, there is also a special Sonic the Screwdriver tied in
Sonic the
to
Screwdriver?
Sonic the Screwdriver tied into to the World. And it's like pink and gold and whatever, and
Yep.
looks bad, but it doesn't look bad because it's pink. It looks bad because this is the worst looking Sonic Screwdriver that we've ever fucking had. I've not even come around to it a little bit. I despise this fucking little TV remote, man. It's so ugly. So ugly.
With all the functions of the online exclusive that was released in September, this two-toned Chrome edition comes in an iridescent magenta,
Iridescent.
rose, and
Yeah.
subtle green finish. As with the original, the Sonic boasts a completely revamped shape and design of its iconic curved edges. Is it iconic? I don't think this is iconic.
It's iconic for like the wrong reasons. Like it's gonna be a Sonic Screwdriver I'm never gonna forget because it's fucking awful.
But yeah,
Which in its own way is iconic.
according to this guy, Al Duar, he said there's going to be more colors coming up next. There's going to be more variety in the colors. Um,
Wow.
It's said, however, that this doctor will have a few color variations up his sleeve during his time traveling adventures, and we can't wait to see what comes next. So the Sonic Screwdriver is going to come in a variety of colors. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Because this pink version of the screwdriver is going to appear in the Christmas special. So excited! I'm so excited. I can't
I'm
wait.
thrilled. I am thrilled by that prospect. I cannot wait to buy every single one of those Sonic screwdrivers. I can't wait to line them up all over the place and show people, look how cool this Sonic screwdriver is. Look at it. It's not my mouse, it's a Sonic screwdriver, I swear. But yeah.
Yeah, I might buy a version of this if it was a mouse. Like that might
Yeah,
be useful.
yeah, as a computer mouse, I'd
Yeah.
suddenly be like, okay, maybe I could get on with that. But
Like
it,
the only Sonic screwdriver I ever owned also was a Wiimote.
oh, that's
Like they
cool.
did Wiimote of the 11th Doctor's Sonic screwdriver when I was a kid.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And
I
I,
didn't know
I
that.
got
I
it,
had
and I only used it like twice, but I got it.
I had the I had Christopher Eccleston's Sonic screwdriver, and I also had David Tennant's one, which look the same, but Eccleston's one is
Yeah.
a slightly different color than David Tennant's one. But we had those; they used to whir and everything. And I
Mhm.
don't know what happened to them. They probably broke or something like that.
Nice.
Who knows? I haven't seen them in 20 years, so I'm sure they'll show
But
up
yeah,
one day.
I don't think either of us are into collecting toys or figures,
No,
so none of this interests me.
no,
Which
it's
is
I
it also just feels desperate. It feels desperate.
yeah. If people like collecting toys, that's cool. I just don't like knack around or
Yeah.
like I don't collect toys, but I do collect DVDs and books. So like I have my own thing that I like to spend money on and fill my shelves with. But if it brings you joy, that's great. If it brings you joy
Yeah.
to the world, that's Christmas time, which brings us into our next
Nice.
section. What's coming up next month?
Yep.
I see here, Scott, section F. You've yet
Yeah,
again
sounds-
included Big Finish. After, I think, 3 months ago,
Uh.
4 months ago, being like, you know what, we'll just stop doing Big Finish because it takes so long and we don't listen
I'm
to them
curious
anyway.
about what's happening.
And you just keep sticking it in.
My goal next year is to get into Big Finish. It was my goal this
That was
year
your
and
goal
last year
every
and the
year.
year before.
Yeah.
Well, I'll get into Big Finish someday.
Maybe to get into Big Finish, you need to stop talking about Big Finish. Doctor Who Joy to the Worlds comes out on Xmas Day. Doctor Who Proms is coming sometime around Christmas on BBC
Yes.
Two. I'm looking forward to that. I forgot that was even coming out. That's cool. They filmed
Yeah,
that
I'm looking
ages
forward
ago,
to it.
a couple months ago, way
Yep.
back when.
But yeah, I haven't listened to the radio broadcast, so this is
Neither
gonna
have
be
I.
fun to watch.
Yeah. Uh, Doctor Who Unleashed is also coming out on Christmas Day on BBC Three. I've never watched it. Well, I watched one episode of Unleashed. I don't like the host. Doctor Who War Games colorized on BBC Four December 23rd. And we have a new audiobook coming
But
out from
Doctor
Penguin.
Who, Doctor Who is on all 4 BBC channels this year, which is pretty cool. You know, it's a good presence for Doctor Who on the BBC schedule this Christmas.
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah, it is. It is. It's nice to see Doctor Who back at Christmas in a big way, you know, because those few years we got where there was nothing, it's tragic. Christmas was cancelled those years. And the audiobook we've got coming out is about a man that we will be talking about in just a couple weeks' time, Harry Sullivan. Doctor Who Harry Sullivan's War.
Yes.
Christopher Naylor reads this original novel featuring the Doctor's former companion in his own adventure. It has been 10 years since Harry Sullivan left UNIT and gave up his travels in the TARDIS with the Doctor and Sarah Jane. Since then, he's been engaged in top-secret work developing antidotes to nerve toxins, but when he is transferred to Yara in the Hebrides to work on a weapon research, he has a severe misgivings. For one thing, it goes against much of what he believes in. For another, someone is out to kill Harry Sullivan. Who wants Harry safety out of the way? What significance does Van Gogh's painting have? And can Harry's old friend, the Brigadier, really be involved in a scheme which threatens the security of the Western world? And then there's another question mark next to 2020, next to the copyright stuff. So it's like 2024 BBC Studios. But that's cool. A little audiobook that I'm
Yeah.
not going to get, but that's awesome.
This was, of course, a book written by Ian Marter, who played Harry Sullivan in the show in the 80s, a couple of years before he died, I believe. So this is like his last major work within the Doctor Who universe. He wrote a ton of books back in the 80s. He was like, him and Terrance Dicks, I think, were like the regular Target novelization guys. And of course, he got to write his own book about his own character, which... It's cool that Doctor Who allows people to do that, you know, like it's constantly happening. People being able to just write storylines. Like John Barrowman wrote a ton of Torchwood books and comic books. So it's cool that people get to do stuff with their own characters, you know? It's cool.
Yeah, that's
I don't know anything about this book. I don't know the quality, but you know, more Harry Sullivan is always a good thing.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's so... What the fuck is happening to Big Finish right now? Have you clicked on the Big Finish one? That list just keeps
I
going
know.
down.
So this is a big list because there's T-shirts involved. So you'll see the stuff of Legend is always repeated with bundles: extra large, large, medium, small.
Yeah.
Because Big Finish obviously isn't a website that's able to do. It doesn't work like a clothing website, so we have to do this separately, which sounds annoying. It's really annoying.
It is. It is extremely annoying to look at. It's a cluttered mess, an absolute cluttered mess. But I guess if we want to dive into the December releases for Big Finish, since Scott wants to do it so badly, we shall. I'll take the first one with Doctor Who, The Stuff of Legend, the live show. Something is afoot in the lonely Cornish village of Merry Maid Bay. Rumors of dead men working the tin mines have sent a chill through the community, and it's up to the Doctor and Charlie to get to the bottom of the mystery. Can the legends of the Buka that haunts the mines be true? And just what awesome powers do the Doctor's greatest enemies, the Daleks, threaten to unleash upon the universe? So this features Paul McGann as the Doctor and his companion Charlie, played by India Fisher, of course.
And also Alex McQueen as the Master, which Yeah, I want to get into Big Finish. I want to get into the Eighth Doctor's range, especially. This is early on, so I'll eventually get to this. But this is something we've discussed a few months ago because the recorded version of this story was released in like August or something. But of
Yeah.
course, we did also a live show in front of an audience. So if you want to listen to the recording of the live show, you can now, which sounds weird, but okay.
It does sound weird, but yeah. You can take the next one.
Yes, of course, we're still in the Eighth Doctor range with the Eighth Doctor Adventures Deadly Strangers. The Doctor, Audacity, and Charlie visit many times and places, always with the best intentions, but others have a different agenda. And of course, we have three stories in this as usual. We have Piscini and the Doctor, written by Matthew Jacobs, who of
Wow.
course wrote the TV movie. So
Okay.
he's
Very
back.
cool. Yeah.
That's fun. Because of course this because the Doctor, the Eighth Doctor, referenced Piscini. Am I pronouncing the name correctly? Piscini,
Puccini? Puccini?
Puccini.
I imagine it's
Of
a
course,
sound.
the Eighth Doctor referenced Puccini in the TV movie. So this is a reference. This whole story is a reference to that one line in the TV movie, which happens all the fucking time in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
They always make episodes out of just one line. We also have Woman's Day Off by Lisa McMullen, and we have The Gloamin' by Lauren Mooney and Stuart Pringle.
Hmm. I wonder
Sour
if he's
onion, please.
I wonder if he's part of the Pringle billions. But yeah. After that, we are moving into the Fourth Doctor Adventures with Doctor Who: The
Yes,
Fourth
this
Doctor
is
Adventures: The Curse of Time.
yes,
Um,
this is of course to celebrate the Fourth Doctor's 50th anniversary, which
mm,
we're also about to do.
perhaps we are. After being dragged through a rip in the time vortex, the TARDIS returns the Doctor, Sarah, and Harry to Earth. They are in medieval times, but something strange is afoot. The villagers live in fear of a sinister brotherhood, an order of monks that uphold the sacred laws. Then there's Faustus Black with his troupe of traveling players. What connects them is a terrible secret hidden in the Forbidden Forest, a cave from which nobody has ever returned. So that'd be cool. That sounds fun and
Yeah.
spooky. Little medieval adventure. Who doesn't like that, you know? Um,
And then after this, we have Doctor Who Short Trips War Stories. This is a 12th Doctor audio novel with Bill. It's read by Alan Cox. The Intergalactic Fringe Festival spans a whole planet. Its programs offer millions of shows, so the Doctor and Bill can choose anything from anti-mav acrobats to the quantum cabaret. But the Doctor is alarmed when he attends a play about the Time War. It's not just that it tells his personal history, its performance could unravel the universe. This is, of course, the winner of the Paul Spragg Memorial Short Trip Opportunity of 2024. Something I keep on thinking about entering, but I can never come up with a story in time.
it sounds good.
But
It
yeah.
sounds really good. This one sounds really good. It's
And
cool.
it's free, so you don't have to pay
Yeah,
anything to listen to it, which is solid.
yeah, yeah. No, it sounds like a cool idea. It sounds like a cool idea. Then we have got Doctor Who: The Stuff of Legend, the live show Platinum Bundle Small, Doctor Who: The Stuff of Legend, the live show Platinum Bundle Medium, Doctor Who: The Live
Yeah.
Show Platinum Bundle Large, Doctor Who: The Stuff of Legend, the live show Platinum Bundle X Large, Doctor Who: The Stuff of Legend, the live show Gold Bundle Small, Doctor Who: The Stuff of Legend, the live show Gold Bundle Medium, Doctor Who: The Stuff of Legend, the live show Gold Bundle Large, Doctor Who: The Stuff of Legend, the live show Gold Bundle Extra Large, Doctor Who: The Stuff of Legend, the live show Silver Bundle Small, Doctor Who: The Stuff of Legend, the live show Silver Bundle Medium, Doctor Who: The Stuff of Legend, the live show Silver Bundle Large, Doctor Who: The Stuff of Legend, the live show Silver Bundle Extra
Mhm.
Large. So that all sounds phenomenal if you want to look at whatever the fuck those things are. As the next actual story that's releasing in December is Doctor Who: The New Adventures of Bernice Summerfield, Volume 8, The Eternity Club 4. That's
And of course, this is a lady we're going to mention next week in
yes,
Survival. So,
we are
because the
indeed.
actress isn't in Survival, she tries her best in Survival, I would say, underneath that cheetah costume.
Yeah, she gets out of it at the end. Welcome to the Eternity Club, where a warm welcome awaits the universe's greatest explorers, a place of mystery, intrigue, and creeping danger. This is two stories, Sanctuary and Liturgy of Death. And apparently, the collector's edition CDs are strictly limited to 1,000 copies. So,
Oh, the
if
fucking
you,
CDs. If
yeah,
you remember last year, I jumped the gun and I pre-ordered all of Once and Future on CD. The final one just came out recently, but the CD has been delayed because Big Finish have poor quality control by the sounds of it. It sounds
oh
like an
wow.
absolute nightmare at Big Finish. So yeah, not the best company to get CDs from nowadays, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's tragic.
But I really prefer downloads anyway, you know.
Yeah,
But
the
yeah,
last
this
time
is
I used a
Bernice
CD.
Summerfield, of course. This is Big Finish's oldest character since 1998. So that's a lot of stuff to, I haven't even listened to the old adventures of Bernice Summerfield. This is the new adventures, season 8.
Yeah,
It's a
that's a
lot
lot.
of stories.
That is a lot of stories, but some people love
Yeah,
them, man.
I want to get into it eventually. You know, Bernice, my one exposure to Bernice Summerfield was in Human Nature, the book. I really liked her character, so I'll eventually
Mm.
get through the novels and the audio dramas. When I'm like 82.
Yeah.
Of course, our next one is Torchwood Reflect. Speaking of Ace, we have Ace in this story.
Ace.
I will live in the past, the present, and the future. The spirits of all three shall strive within me. Christmas is a time for ghost stories. Everyone knows that, but it's also a time to reflect on the past, consider the present, and muse on where we might be in the future. Dorothy McShane and St. John Colchester Price have gathered to tell each other, and you at home, 4 stories of horror and hope, of spirits and sadness. It's the longest night of the year, and the lady in green waits. So this is an anthology where
Mm.
Ace and Colchester just tell you stories, I guess.
Nice.
Not
That'll be
not, re-
fun.
not really fitting of a Torchwood brand, other than these two characters work in
Are
Torchwood now.
Torchwood, yeah. But hey, that's cool. It'll be the longest night of the year very soon, and I think just a
Yeah,
couple weeks. It's
December
the
21st. Yes.
yeah. Yeah, that's fun. I like darkness.
Okay.
Doctor Who, The War Doctor Rises, Unknown Soldiers. As the Time War rages across the cosmos, an unlikely crew of outcasts form a pact to end the conflict once and for all. Their target, a legendary warrior whose assassination at a precise point in history will create a chain reaction that sets the whole universe free. Sounds funky. I don't really get much from that, but it's a War Doctor
Yeah.
story. The War Doctor stories always seemed interesting to me. But who has the time, man? Who's got the time?
Yeah,
You
I
know?
know.
Uh,
Our
the
next,
next
our
one
next,
has got the best looking art out of all of them. I love the color in this one. I think it's
yes,
cool.
we got the Paternoster Gang. Sorry, this is 2.3. The Paternoster Gang. Trespassers 3. No Place Like Home, which is an appropriate title because Wicked just came out. No
Mm,
Place Like Home. There's
yep,
no place like home.
yep.
Interesting. I wonder if it was intentional. Who knows?
I
In
doubt
Victorian
anything is
England,
intentional.
the great detective, Madame Vastra, her resourceful spouse, Jenny Flint, and their loyal valet, Strax, solve conundrums, fight injustice, and capture criminals. but an enemy has taken up residence undetected. The secret of the shape-shifting trespassers will now be revealed. So we have Doppelgangers by Ken Bentley. We have Jellyfish by Neve McIntosh and Dan Starkey, who are Neve McIntosh is, of course, Madame Bastra. Dan Starkey
Yes.
is Strax. So it's written by two of the stars. We have also The House Guest by Matt Fitton. And of course, The House Guest is the second Doctor, which is interesting. It's always interesting when a previous incarnation interacts with modern characters, because that fucks up with the canon slightly. How do we explain it?
They
What's
don't.
going on?
Don't explain it. As soon as you start explaining it, it stops making sense. That's the trick. You don't explain it. You just accept and move on. You just accept and move on. But that is all of what is coming out with Big Finish in the month of December. I can guarantee that I'm not going to be listening to any of them. But if any sound appealing to you, by all means, go out and fucking listen to them. I'm not your boss.
Yeah.
Except for you,
I'm
Steven.
glad. I'm glad Big Finish is still a thing because people still enjoy it. Some people have fallen off of the show itself, but with Big Finish, there's still
There's lots of
content
ways
that's
that-
enjoyable.
Lots
If
of
you
ways to
enjoy a
enjoy.
particular Doctor, like we're almost in their Chibnall era, like we're almost in Sasha Dewan's Master
Yeah.
series coming out soon.
Yeah.
In February, which I think I will get. I think I will try and get all
I
of
might
the
dip my toe
13th
into that
Doctor
just
stuff.
because it feels like it's a fresh start. You're in ground zero. You don't have a backlog. You can just jump into it. So that sounds kind of. But we did that with the Ninth Doctor, and it got pretty mediocre after a while. So like that.
Yeah, and I want to get into the Ninth Doctor because there is stories they've done since we jumped off, like the ones with River Song. That's an interesting box set I want to listen to. But yeah, the problem with the Ninth Doctor is there's just no storyline. There's no through line in between each story, which is a shame.
Yeah, some of them were good, but yeah, it suffered from they all started to feel like the same thing over and over again. But
That
hey,
Sontaran episode that we covered was
pretty
really
good.
fucking good, and also the Cyberman episode where it's on the set of Metropolis. Fucking great episodes.
Yeah.
I want to listen to those again, actually.
Okay. Well, whatever you want to do in your spare time. Next week, next Friday, we will be looking at Survival, the final episode of Classic Who, as it is the 35th anniversary of the show's cancellation.
On that day as well, December 6th, exactly 35 years since the show was cancelled. And it is a long podcast that we've already
very
recorded.
Long. It's
3.5 hours.
Yeah.
So think of this as your Christmas gift,
Yeah, so enjoy going through that. And then after that, we will be looking at Robot to celebrate 50 years of Tom Baker. And then just after Christmas, of course, we will be talking about Joy to the Worlds. And then that's the end of the year. That's it.
Insane.
That's the end of the year. We've made it through another one. Who would have thought it possible? Not this guy. But time just keeps marching on. It doesn't stop. And there's always more Doctor Who. Somehow we haven't yet run out of Doctor Who. And we haven't yet run out of Doctor Who opinions. I keep being amazed whenever we finish an episode. It's like, how the fuck did we talk for like 5 hours there?
The funny thing is, we've barely scratched the surface in covering this show, and it's been 3.5 years of this podcast. There is still so much to cover. It is insane.
It's big. There's a lot of show. There's got a lot of show in that show. But
and also, we still haven't finished all the spin-offs. We still have lots of Torchwood to do. We haven't. There's so much.
We only did.
There's still so much K9 episodes to cover.
Yeah, we only did one episode of Class.
Yeah, we should come back to Class sometime.
It was fine. But yeah, we will see you next week with Survival. Thank you very much for listening to this episode, and we shall see you then I guess I'm just gonna hit stop streaming, and if everything, oh no, end stream button
Bye.
up here. Okay, bye.
Bye.
End stream immediately, and you will no longer be live. I hope that just there we go. We're gonna find out what
See,
happens. Stream finished. Okay.
See, do it in the